Oh, hello. Happy Monday. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Let me just see if you can see me in Facebook land. Today is about detox and moving lymph and things like that because I have had, not so much in the Life Pro group, but I've had a ton of inquiries. I think we're getting into fall. We all talk about spring cleaning, but there's the fall cleaning as well. And I think a lot of this time of year, we're cleaning our house, we're switching over seasons, and it's not uncommon to think about your own internal cleaning as well. And many of you are detoxing every day, not necessarily because you're making effort to do so. Some of you maybe practice a cleanse or a detoxification process regularly. Today, I wanted to talk about some of your amazing Life Pro tools and how they can help you manage help your body manage the toxins that we are exposed to in our food, our air, our water, our lotions, our shampoos, our makeups, our soaps, our fabric softeners. We live in a toxic world, and that sounds very cliche. But if you are suffering from a sluggish immune system, you've been advised by your doc or your care provider that you're due for, a clean out, or there's certain organs, a lot of my friends detox their liver or their kidneys or their gallstones or whatever. There's lots of ways that you can target. What we're going to talk about today is using your tools to just help your body expedite those toxins more effectively. Little things that you might be doing already and weren't aware. And there's some of these things are pretty common sense as far as when it gets to the part where Deb talks about her favorite recommended tools. I see that there are 5 of you here joining me now. I just wanted to make sure the delay wasn't keeping anyone away. If you can see and hear me, please just drop me a comment. If you're joining me today, let me know where you're from. If you've ever done a cleanse or a detoxification protocol, I'd be curious to share. And if so, for what reason? Again, today we're talking about general, better whole body detoxification and how to move lymph and get that lymphatic system working optimally. Hello, Angela from Arizona. I'm assuming that you can hear and see me, so thank you for that. For those of you that are joining me, on a recorded basis after the fact, if you do have questions, please feel free to drop those in the comments. Tag me at Debby with a Y, and I'd be happy to get back to you after the fact. Sessions are always recorded. I had a couple questions just before I went live. Sorry, I was a couple minutes late. But if you're having trouble finding the session, or you saw it or you were invited, I try to invite as many as I can, but Facebook makes that more and more challenging than it used to be. So I do try to get the word out, as does Life Pro, with that delicate balance of not hammering you about everything, because there's so much going on at Life Pro these days. And so what I would recommend, if you are seeing events of interest that myself, Roseanne, or Amber are doing, make sure that you go in right away and say interested or going, whether you attend or not. It's not like we're forcing you to make that commitment, but you'll get additional notifications. So if there's been a reschedule, just as a reminder, that we're going live in 5 minutes. So if you just want to make sure that you even just get a reminder, make sure that you go in and select going or interested. And you can just go right to the Facebook page and you'll see it on either channel. So detoxifying does not mean a big radical diet or starving yourself to death either, although there are methods to detoxification that include both of those. Today, what we're talking about is the tools that you may have already, or perhaps you have been considering. I'm going to get to a few just tips on those tools that I recommend. But I want to talk with some basics. This should be common sense stuff. We all know that our body detoxifies in a couple of different ways. We all know we could be better many of us could be better about supporting our body and what it needs to rid itself of toxins, dead cell, whatever sickness you had last week. So our bodies are always working to cleanse toxins out of our systems. Exercise helps to promote this process. And, one of the simple things of just increasing circulation is aiding your liver and your lymph nodes to make them function more effectively. So the variable is exercise. Does that mean just standing there on your vibration plate? Does it mean 20 minutes on your treadmill or maybe one of the bikes? So exercise, for the purposes of today's discussion, is moving. Get moving. When you move, lymph moves. Other ways that your body expedites toxins, so getting things moving and aiding that lymphatic system, boosting circulation, oxygenating the cells, that's what the movement's going to help with. But if you want to pick up that movement or that intensity, an increase in your breathing, our body exhales toxins as well. So increase the breathing. Get the blood flowing faster. Not only, like I say, is it going to deliver more oxygen to the cells, but it's going to help expedite that detoxification process as well. And we tend to sweat more, when you're working harder, whether you're exercising, sitting in the sun. Sweating is one of the biggest ways that our body expels toxins. That's why we stink after we've been sweating. That's why it leaves stains. Part of it is certainly other organic things, but it is a huge part in how our body detoxifies. And, if you get sweaty feet or sweaty arms or, that's just your body doing its job. Exercise is a way to increase the breathing, the blood flow, the sweating to expedite, obviously, the detoxification. So if you exercise regularly now and for a purpose, good for you. These are things that you probably know already, but even the most active, healthy people, can benefit from ramping things up from time to time. So some of the tips we're going to talk about today are common sense things. Before I get to the equipment, I have to do the mom stuff and lecture you about the most obvious common thing that you can add to ramp up your body's ability to better move lymph and detoxify is to drink more water. Be hydrated. It may not be water, perhaps it's herbal tea. Be careful about the sugar and carbonation to a degree, but fluids. And when we exercise, we tend to intake more fluids. We tend to hydrate ourselves, whether it's through the course of the exercise. You got to remember it's important to hydrate before. So hydration is important to every function of our body, but it's really important when you are detoxifying. If you've ever gone for a massage or to a wellness center and had a lymphatic massage or just a general massage, they're always reminding you about the water. They're moving more volume. They're moving lymph. A lot of the same reasons exercise is, hydration is key. And then if you're doing like a heavy detox, you're going for a cleanse, you're going through a dietary thing, make sure you supplement, whether it's supplements or food choices. When you detoxify, your body's got to expel a bit of the good with the bad. It's just kind of the way it works. So make sure that you're not depleting yourself. If you're in poor health to begin with, the nutrient content has not been there. Make sure that you're making responsible choices, picking the right cleanse. Talk to your doctor, your naturopath. There's lots out there on the internet. So as I said, when we move, lymph moves. And the biggest reason you want to focus on this and adding it, if you're not using your machine regularly and you're beating yourself up because you're not exercising, excess weight and feeling like crap can come from being toxic. Mind fuzz, just softness throughout the skin, blemishes. So even if you're just using your plate, your treadmill, whatever it is, I want you to get moving. It's going to help the immune system flush toxins and fight off infections. And nobody feels like exercising when you're not feeling yourself. So get moving and get sweating are going to be the two themes for today. Getting moving, some aerobic activity is not going to hurt. Rebounding, all of my rebounders out there are going to know this well. Rebounding is one of the best exercises to promote detoxification because of how it shakes up that immune system. Common word there, rebounding, shaking things up. Vibration plates, of course, are much less impact much more possible way for people to exercise, to get exercise of an aerobic capacity, not only to get you sweating and get that lymph moving, but if you're below baseline and traditional exercise is not your friend, this is also a good way to get some exercise benefits as well. Today, we're going to focus on some very simple stuff. Obviously, Deb's first top tool to help improve lymphatic movement and boost detoxification within your body. You're doing the drinking, you're doing the good food, is the vibration plate. It's the one thing more people can benefit with in some way from an exercise capacity. It's a lazy way to move lymph. And regardless of whether you can stand or you have to remain seated based on what's going on with your personal situation, most people can use a machine. And I'm going to give you a couple of very simple exercises. The second top tool, I think you can see the hints behind me, is getting that sweat factor going. So the easiest way to do that is a sauna or some of your technologies that offer infrared heat. So getting that sweat factor up, boosting circulation, all the things we've already talked about. The sauna and the vibration machine are the ultimate butt-kicking combo for moving lymph and getting circulation and detoxification. We're going to get to a few moves, and then I want to give you guys some recommendations. I know it's not sauna season for everybody yet. I am in Canada, where today it's really hot, and I'll probably get a sunburn later at the beach. But the other night we had frost in the evening, so we're kind of in that seasonal time of year. And many of my clients are. I've had several instances actually locally where people have started using their saunas, whether it's to get warm or it's just getting cooler in the evenings, and it's easier to use those type of technologies when it's not roasting outside. But guess what? They've developed a little bit of an illness. Sometimes when you're detoxifying, don't forget that as you're moving things out of your system, it's not that the detoxification or the sauna or the vibration machine is making you sick. But if you feel ill when you first use a vibration plate, when you first use a sauna, when you're doing a cleanse particularly, don't be surprised if you feel under the weather or not yourself. Your body is expelling things. It's waking up some junk in the trunk and moving it out. So again, all the more reason to make sure that the adequate hydration, rest, and sometimes, you will get worse before you get better. So just keep in mind, we're moving things, and if you're very, very toxic, and you'll know what that means. If you've been smoking 3 packs of cigarettes and 2 60 packs a day and getting 2 hours or 2 60s a day and getting 2 hours sleep, you've probably got some issues going on internally. And it's going to take your body not only some time, but a little bit of patience to work that out. So when you're starting on a vibration plate for the first time, I'm doing standing only today. If you're unable to stand for long periods or you're just lazy and don't wanna, you can always sit yourself in a stool or alternate. Maybe you're not able to completely bear body weight yet. We're just moving lymph and getting things moving by standing on the machine. I want to give you some tips to wrap that up. First tip, of course, is we're not doing a big old workout here. Just be functional. Keep those feet about hip width apart. Your knees are slightly bent. The taller you stand, the more you're going to feel it in the head. So just make sure that if you have a head sensitivity or you got a lot of tension in the neck and you're doing this at the end of your day and you're feeling it there, just relax. We have a tendency to fight, guard, and protect. Make sure those knees are slightly bent. So often you're just standing a little taller. Your body's trying to compensate and make things easier. And, so the first little tip that I want to give you, and is easy for if you're able to stand for a minute or so on your machine, mix things up and try just a little shifting of weight. So you're shifting from the heels to the balls. You don't have to necessarily lift the feet off, but I just want you shifting your weight from the back of the foot forward, and you might look something like this. So we're moving the hips back, forward, kind of like a pelvic tilt. But instead of just doing the pelvic tilt, I want you to add a bit more of a swing. I want to move more body parts, more lymph. Okay? Maybe you got some good tunes going and you just get swinging. So guess what? We're going to add arms. We're detoxifying. Why? Because we're moving. So if you have the ability to swing your arms, bring them into the equation. If you have good range of motion, the more you can swing your arms, the more you're going to move lymph. And the reason I want you to add a little bit of arms, especially my ladies, for any of you that have had compromised lymph nodes, you've got blockages in these areas. Most of us don't have the same lymphatic and circulation system that we did when we were born. You know, things have broken down and deteriorated over the course of living our lives and using them. So sometimes, you know, just adding a little bit of this, if you don't feel like doing your workout, you know, you're doing a workout at the gym, you know, maybe just using your plate for a little bit of lymph is going to ramp up and make the difference in the results that you just haven't quite been getting with your other cleanse or detox protocols. Another thing, if you do want to add, you know, sometimes being toxic, as I said earlier, is a form of weight gain, or toxins are making it hard for your body to lose weight properly. Just firing up the quads, you know, adding, you know, a little bit more action in the hips and the glutes and those larger muscles, engaging those muscle groups. If you don't have good range of motion, you've got joint issues, just hold still, go as low as your range of motion allows. Majority of the weight is on your heels. You should be feeling the burn in the quads and the butt. If you're feeling it in the shins and the calves, you're probably shifting your weight towards your toes a little bit. The body cheats, and very often we lack range of motion in our ankles. So getting low, we all think it's the knees and the hips. Well, that's certainly part of the equation, but often it's a lack of flexibility in the ankles. So when you start going lower, you know, your body, we have a tendency to shift forward on the toes. Keep the heels planted and just go as low as you can. You'll feel the burn much differently. So the best way to ramp up the two recommendation tools-wise that I'm talking about today, I've got a couple of different examples. LifePro has an awesome, amazing selection of different infrared tools. For detoxification for whole body, I would recommend, it was really hard for me to decide, and I'm really just trying to make things simpler for you guys. As far as the vibration plate, always oscillating, it's that churning and chugging, that walking motion that our body understands. That's what's going to be the most functional movement as well. If you have infrared technology or you've been considering it, one of the big reasons people look at infrared, and especially some of the sauna material, the blankets, I've also got the dome here as well. This is going to increase the sweat factor. If you've never tried an infrared sauna, you'll understand very, very quickly. When you're looking at a sauna, much like I talk about when you're looking at a plate, it really is going to boil down to you having to be realistic about where you're going to use it. You know, sometimes, you know, you've got all the money in the world, but you live in a 300 square foot apartment. So if sweat is the goal, there's, you know, something like the blanket is something you could use on your bed, on your sofa. It's not taking up a whole lot of space. The new PEMF combo infrared mats. So if you lack mobility, you know, you've got mild tolerance, you don't really love heat too much, and you want to have the ability to be in control, something a little bit more targeted, you can use this while you're seated. A lot of my wheelchair users love this, and I love this for that reason. But you can just use the infrared function. And of course, there's the full mat option of this as well. I think if you're looking at infrared technology and you lack mobility or you are claustrophobic, that is a very common reason that people freak out about saunas. It's not the heat. It's you feel contained. You feel like you're in this MRI machine. Even the booth, some of my clients with the door, you feel like you're in this small space. So what's also a really good thought, if that's you and that identifies with you, the full or the mini PEMF mat, or any of the light therapy tools, offer infrared. But if you're looking for full body detoxification, weight loss, maybe the belt or something might take a little longer to do full body, I really recommend the blankets or the mats if you're going to be doing sort of head to toe more regularly. And again, for those with poor mobility, You can do this seated. You could do this laying on your bed. If you've got the room and you've got a dedicated space, a camp cot, something like that, it gives you a few more options to explore. But when people say, well, what is the best sauna or what is the best vibration machine? It's really what's best for your situation. Benefits between the technologies are, infrared is infrared, vibration is vibration. But it boils down to, what's going to be practical for you to use. If it's going to be a big pain in the butt to set up, you're probably not going to be using it consistently. And consistency, not only in everything else that we all talk about here between bone density and strength, is key. But with detoxification, if you're going to start this process, you want to be doing this regularly. And, once you have success and things start moving and feeling better, your energy levels are up, you've lost the weight, well, whatever those symptoms were that were being presented, it's the maintenance piece, so you don't stop detox, you don't cleanse yourself and then you never get toxins again. So again, we live in this world where we're continually exposed to these things, and just getting into 2 to 3 minutes on your vibration plate. You can just stand there. What setting? I always recommend a mid to high setting with a closer foot placement. Wide is choppy. It's more impact. You can't tolerate the mid to high speeds, and the slow speeds are choppy and wobbly, and you might feel things shaking around more. But as a pre-treatment, detoxification specifically, the more movement, the more blood flow we can get going in a better period, especially for those with chronic issues, the better we're going to get the job done. Using this 2 to 3 minutes before your sauna not only loosen things up and get you feeling good, but it's going to ramp up that circulation and that lymph to better prepare your body for what the sauna technology is going to do to it. And if you're stiff and sore, or you just want to ramp up results a little bit further, try your vibration plate after you've done a sauna session. You'll be huffing, your muscles are all warmed up. It's just a really cool way to mix it up. So there is no perfect road to success as far as, how long for me, how often. Specifically for detoxification, you can use your plate daily. If you are doing a routine regularly now, you can add a little bit more time, but you don't need to do anything specific for the detox. Just by using your plate, you're getting that circulation and that lymph going. The sauna is also very much a personal choice. If you're looking at doing a specific cleanse, or you want to pay attention and ramp things up, you might want to, you can do a sauna daily. But if you're feeling lethargic, if you're starting to feel the energy lacking, you may want to back off in time or frequency. So maybe every other day or every third day. So, after you've had a couple sessions where you've combined these together, see how you feel. If you feel your energy levels, mobility, aches and pains have improved, kind of continue as you've been going. But if you're feeling, you're setting back, you're more tired than you were, maybe you're very toxic, you may want to reduce, as I say, time and frequency in either of these. But, even if you're only going 2 minutes on your vibration machine and, 15 minutes in the sauna, I think you'll enjoy the benefits of combining the tools together. I'm blinded by the light here. I'm going to kill one. There. For those of you with heat intolerances, I'm having a lot of success with many of the folks in my group that, could never do heat. The nice thing about the blankets, the dome sauna and some of the PEMF mats and isolated treatments is you can control the temperature. So, like anything, your body can adapt to these technologies and crave them almost after a period of time. And the advantage of some of these over the traditional box sauna or going to a facility is your head does not need to be part of the equation. You're breathing room temperature air versus hot air, and not so the tolerance sometimes is better that way. That, like I say, the claustrophobia, those type of things are less. But if you do have poor mobility, that there's lots of options, and be realistic, like I say, about where you're going to use them the most consistently, especially if you're not an exercise guru. Don't put them in the basement beside the washing machine when you're only down there once a week. put them somewhere accessible. And if you're looking at using them just as a lifestyle piece, just to keep that detoxification going, perhaps you've been through a treatment, and it's something that you're focused on, have it in the kitchen, have it in the living room, have it somewhere where you can get on it for 2 to 3 minutes whenever you feel you need a fix. The detoxification is going to be ramped up anytime you use the machine, but you can also benefit from the boost in energy, the mental clarity, the stability and balance. There's lots of things that a machine will give you within 1 to 2 minutes. The sauna, I want you to get to that sweat factor, especially if detox and getting that lymphatic system moving and churning is the goal. If you haven't been using your sauna regularly, or you're just looking at them for the first time, start conservatively. And I recommend your first few sessions, do them later in the day, whatever that day. If you work nights, don't do it before you have to go to work. If you work all day, wait until the end of your day. I think you'll find for the first couple that most people, you're drained, you're tired. It's like the ultimate relax. And especially with the lay downs, the blankets, the dome, it's so easy to just fall asleep. So hydrate, give your body time to recover, and, help your body detoxify and improve that lymphatic system to just keep that immune system strong as we ramp into fall. So as I said, I know it's not really sauna season, or heat season isn't totally over for everyone yet, but we are thinking about, fall activities, switching the decorations around. There's Christmas and Halloween stuff at Walmart already. I just about fell over. So, give yourself some attention, invest a little bit of time in that self-care. And, a lot of the things maybe you've been beating yourself up are really not your fault. Like I say, there's a lot of toxins out there in it doesn't matter what you do, guys. There's things out there that are going to get in your way. And sometimes, maybe you bought the machine for strength, or you were recovering for something, or maybe you got the sauna because you wanted to lose weight. We don't always think about detoxification and how in and itself can present things on our body and our structure. Maybe we're thinking it's the exercise, or I'm sitting at my desk too much. And it very well could be, like I say, toxins and just your body not being able to rid itself of certain things effectively. So be consistent. I sound like a broken record. And thank you guys for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next week. I want to see if anyone has questions. I see Mike is here. Have I seen this? No, feel free to share that link with everyone. Mike, find your own page to bomb. Sorry, I didn't notice that at first. Brooke will have to catch the replay. Hello, Brooke. Brooke and I had a chat last week. Brooke is this stunning line dance queen, and she happens to be one heck of a wellness warrior. Today was probably a little bit up your alley today, and I know some of my sessions seem simple, but there's so many things going on in your guys' life. If you can keep it simple, it's so much easier to get into those good habits and sticking with them. So don't beat yourself up if you're not doing the workout. 2 to 3 minutes goes a long way. And if you haven't been using your sauna and it's starting to get a little bit chilly at night, or perhaps it's chilly in the morning and the tolerance is better there, start dusting it off and wrapping up that detox and that lymph movement, so you're in better tune for the fall. Have a great day, everyone. Don't work too hard. And I look forward to seeing you again next week, probably at my regular time of 5 p.m. Eastern time. Have a great rest of your week. Don't work too hard. Enjoy the last week of August.